A long time ago, when I was young, I went to stay in Germany with my mum and dad and brother. Mum and dad were very busy in the mornings, working, so me and my brother were often left on our own until dinner time. Most of the time we had to stay in our room and play or read. After a while, as I'm sure you can imagine, we got bored. And you know what happens when children get bored? They get into trouble. And that's just what happened to us. There was the time we climbed out of the window onto the roof and dropped bits of bread on the heads of the people walking along below. There was the time we did pretend flying, and my brother did his pretend flying off the end of the bed and landed on his face. And there was the time we played football with my dad's shoes, and one of the shoes went flying out the window. We got into so much trouble, my mum and dad just didn't know what to do. In the end, someone helped them. It was the caretaker. He had a father, a very old man called Horst. The caretaker said, "My father will stop them being bad. The best thing to do with those boys is to take them to see old Horst." And so one morning, that's what happened. Can you imagine it? Me and my brother being taken off to see a strange old man we had never met. The caretaker took us downstairs to his flat and up to old Man Horst's door. The caretaker called out at the door. We heard a gruff old voice coming from inside. The caretaker opened the door, we went in, the door closed behind us, and we were on our own in this small, dark room. Old Man Horst was sitting on a painted wooden chair with his glasses on. He had one of those floppy moustaches that make men look as if they've got a mop in front of their mouths. He had one hand on the table and one hand on his knee. "So, you're the two bad little boys we hear so much about," said the old man. We didn't say a thing. "Well, I'm going to stop this, you know. I'm going to cure you. Sit down." We sat down on a bench. I felt all jumpy inside. "Well," he said, "I can see that you think you're bad. In fact, lots of people think you're bad. But I'll tell you this, little fellows, I know of someone much, much, much worse than you two. Do you know who he is?" "No," said my brother. "He's called Till Eulenspiegel." "Can you say that?" "Till Eulenspiegel," said my brother. "In English, he has another name," said old Man Horst. "Till Owlyglass. Can you say that?" "Tilly Owlyglass," I said. "Till Owlyglass," said Horst. He was the worst boy the world has ever known, and he grew to be even worse than worst. Have you ever heard of him? "Where does he live?" said my brother. But I was wondering how old Man Horst was going to stop us being bad. How was he going to cure us? Old Man Horst laughed. "Till doesn't live anywhere. He lived hundreds and hundreds of years ago. You know, he was so bad that people remember many of the bad things that he did. Do you think an old man like me might know one or two of these bad things?" I nodded. "And do you think two bad little boys like you might want to know about someone like this?" This time I could see that he had a smile on his face, and there were creases round his eyes behind his glasses. So I nodded quite hard. "Good," he said. "Where shall I begin? At the beginning? In the middle? Or at the end?" I said, "Begin at the beginning." "Right," said old Man Horst. And this is how he began. Till Owlyglass was born in a little village called Kneitlingen, and right from the very beginning, his life was strange. In those days, every baby was baptized in church. The priest blessed the baby, gave it its name, and put a little water on it. And so it was with Till. He was named Till Owlyglass, sprinkled with holy water, and then all the friends and neighbours went off to the village inn to have a party, eat a bit, drink a bit, sing a bit, tell jokes and stories, and have a good time. In the evening, when the party broke up, all the villagers strolled out of the inn into the night air and started to make their way home, still singing and laughing. Till's mum, Mrs. Owlyglass, was carrying Till, and she came to the old narrow bridge over the village stream and, whoops! She tripped, she fell, and you can guess what happened. She went rolling into the stream, still holding little baby Till. Mr. Owlyglass rushed to help the pair of them out of the water and the mud, and suddenly the night was full of people calling out, "Oh, how's Mrs. Owlyglass? Oh, never mind her. What about the baby? Is he breathing? Oh, the poor little dear. Oh, look at his little muddy nose," and so on. Mrs. Owlyglass rushed home with Till and straightway bathed him in a tub of warm water. "Well, well, well," said Mr. Owlyglass when all the excitement and worry was over. "This son of ours is going to turn into someone very special." "How's that?" said Mrs. Owlyglass. "He's been baptised 3 times in one day. Once by the priest, once in the village stream, and once in a hot tub. Not bad going, eh?" Of course, when Till's dad said that, he couldn't have known just how right he was. Till would turn out to be very special, but maybe not the kind of special most mothers or fathers would like. Old Man Horst stopped and waited. "Shall I go on?" he said. "Oh, yes," I said. "What happened to him when he was a little boy?" "Aha," said Horst, and went on with the story. Right from the beginning, Till behaved like a naughty monkey, pulling his father's beard, jumping out of his bed in the middle of the night, climbing into neighbours' houses and making rude noises under the table, and when they weren't looking, putting vinegar in their drinks. He was what you'd call a right little shocker. Soon neighbours and friends were coming to see Mr. and Mrs. Owlyglass to complain about Till. "I've never known a child like him. If he was my son, I'd take a stick to him and beat him till he mended his ways. If he comes in my house again, I shall give him such a smack he won't ever forget it. He put mud in my shoes, you know," and so it went on, complaint after complaint. So Till's father had to talk to the boy. He said, "What is all this, son? What's going on? Why do all my friends and neighbours moan about you?" But Till had an answer to this. "They're lying, Dad," he said. "They just want to get back at you because they're jealous your chickens are laying such good eggs." Till knew just how to stop his father getting angry with him. But the trouble went on. People kept complaining. And in the end, Till said to his father, "Look, I tell you what, Dad, we'll go out on the horse, you and me together, and you'll see that even though I do nothing to make people angry, they all start their troublemaking just the same." And this is what they did. Till's father sat on the horse, and little Till sat behind him. And whenever they rode past someone, Till stuck out his tongue and pulled faces and put his fingers up his nose. Straight away, people started shouting, "Look at him, the nasty creature! Ooh, I'd love to give that little devil a real good hiding." "Listen to that," said Till to his father. "All I'm doing is riding along behind you, all quiet, as nice as can be." Till's father didn't say anything, but just moved Till to sit in front of him. On they rode. But now Till was more careful, keeping his face looking straight ahead so his father couldn't see how he stuck out his tongue, screwed up his mouth, and twitched his nose, and rolled his eyes around and round. Again the people started shouting, "Did you ever see such a child? How dare you, you disgusting creature!" Poor old Mr. Owlyglass. He leant forward to Till and said, "Well, son, you must have been born unlucky. You're as quiet and as nice as can be, and all the people yell horrible things at you. You don't deserve it, son." "You see," said Till, looking round, "isn't that what I said? They're troublemakers round here. Now you know what I have to put up with." And Till's father believed him. He really thought that his son was getting unfair treatment. In fact, he took it so badly that in the end he couldn't stand it anymore, and he left home. He left Mrs. Owlyglass all on her own with Till. "What happened next?" said my brother. Old Man Horst looked at the clock. "Well now, boys, I think I've been talking long enough. You run along back to your room till dinner time, and if you think you want to hear any more about our friend Till Owlyglass, you come and see me tomorrow." When are you going to cure us of being bad?" said my brother. "Aha!" said Horst. "Wait and see." And off we went.